We might have an exciting day coming up here soon. Miss Lila back there. And her husband, Diego. So this pair, I've had them together for about exactly a month now. So they really could give birth at any time. And Lila, as you can tell, she has gotten pretty big. And with gerbils, usually it's really hard to tell when they're pregnant, but towards the end of the pregnancy, you do see swelling and the belly just getting bigger. And with Lila, that definitely seems to be the case. So their cage was due for cleaning today, and I felt bad having to clean it so close to her possible due date. But it really needed to be done in preparation for the babies. I tried to do it in a way that didn't stress her out too much, but I redid the setup in a way where there's not as much bedding, if you guys can see, because usually I have the bedding about 1.5 feet deep, because gerbils, they love to burrow, but one issue is that with all their tunnels, it's very, very difficult to check on the babies. And especially, so both of these guys are first-time parents, and they're also older. So Lila, she is about, I think, 1 year and 8 months old now. So because this could be a bit, harder for her taking care of the babies at such an old age, and because it's her first litter, I want to make sure that I always have easy access to her babies. When they're young, you're not supposed to handle baby gerbils or bother the parents much, but I want to just be able to quickly check on them to see when they arrive and to make sure that they're all healthy and everything's going well. So I redid the cage in a way that there's less bedding so that they still have room to burrow and be comfy and to make a proper nest for the babies, but also in a way that allows me easy access. And then as of right now, their tank is pretty empty. So I do have a few new accessories coming in tomorrow. So hopefully she doesn't give birth before then, because I want to give her lots of options for nesting. So I have a wooden den and another little hidey hut coming in. And one thing with gerbils, you also want to make sure that they have a lot of hay. I think they might already be working on nesting, because that was very full of hay earlier, and there's barely any left in there now. Of course, they could be eating it, but I think they're nesting. Miss Lila, she definitely has been acting a bit different. She hasn't been running on the wheel as much, and she's just been spending a bit more time resting. So hopefully we'll have some babies soon. So Lila's been spending a lot of time in this corner lately, and right now she's really puffed up. You can kind of see how her fur is sticking more straight out instead of laying completely flat against her. And she's been grooming herself a lot, and Diego keeps coming over to check on her. So it looks like we might be having some action pretty soon. Wanted to give a quick update. So this is one day after the last clip you guys just saw, and their new toys and hidey huts just came in. It's kind of hard to see them because being gerbils, of course, they covered them with bedding, but to give them a few more nesting options, they have one hidey house back there that's a few levels, and then also just a bendy bridge. So hopefully Lila and Diego will figure out where they want to have their babies. So far it seems like Lila is leaning towards the bendy bridge, but I guess we'll see. big day. Lila just had her babies. So this is the day after the clip that you guys just saw. It's in the morning right now, and she gave birth last night. So probably about 8 hours after the last clip you guys saw. So far, they're doing really good. Both the mom and dad are caring for the babies and staying in the nest. Lila's come out a few times to get food, and they're back in their little nest right there. So she ended up deciding to make her nest in the bendy bridge like we thought she might. And all last night she piled a bunch of bedding in front of it, but I dug a little tiny hole to check on them just to make sure everything was okay. And if there's a point where she's out of the nest and distracted of some treats, then I'm gonna show you guys the babies. Well, it's a few hours after the last clip you guys saw, and Lila and Diego moved all their babies from right here to the very opposite end of the cage. So far I've checked on the babies twice just to make sure everything's okay. And I guess this morning when I checked on them, they decided that they didn't like me knowing about their nest. So they moved all the babies over here. I don't think that they know that I figured it out, so things are okay for right now. I just hear a lot of squeaky little babies in there. But hopefully they'll stop moving the babies around, and I'm gonna give it maybe 5 days or so before checking on them again.